Good day. I am me. Hopefully you are you. If not, you will be. Uh, Today is Saturday, actual Sabbath day. Every day of the week, Saturday is actual Sabbath day. But I'll get into that more on a video when I explain time and the calendar, what the calendar actually is and all that, because the one that we've been going by is not correct. But anyway, like I said, that's for another video. But today is Saturday, and Saturday is the actual Sabbath day, the day that was made for rest for man. So, but anyway, so hopefully everybody's getting some rest. And but yeah, so today I'm going to talk about spirits, and I'm going to point out a particular spirit by name. But everything is energy, and everything that is alive has a spirit. So that includes even plants, animals, people. The difference between us and them is we have conscience or awareness of consciousness. They do not. They are more like operating like a robot. They do what they were designed to do 24/7, 365, without fail. Doesn't matter if the sun shines or if it rains or it's hail, sleet, snow, hurricane, tornado. It doesn't matter. They do what they were exactly designed to do without fail, without complaint, and this is why we were giving the awareness of consciousness. And the choice of free will. They just do what they were created to do, even animals. For instance, like they don't store up goods for the next day. Granted, maybe, the bigger animals might kill an animal that they can eat on for a day or two, depending on how big a group they're in, or if they're by themselves or whatever, but they don't ever take no more than what they actually need each day. They don't store up stuff. They don't build houses, buildings, make cars to drive around. They walk and run everywhere. They just do exactly what they were created to do, and that's it. No matter what. There's no excess of wanting things or needing things or doing things, or none of that stuff that people have indulged themselves into. But so the tree, the center of the tree trunk is actually called the heart of the tree. It's the leaves is where it soaks up sun, and the roots is where it drinks in the water that absorbs minerals and nutrients from the soil that it needs to grow, to be healthy, to be strong. And just like if you go over and you score a tree or scar it, cut it, or whatever, and you step back and give it a few minutes, and then all of a sudden clear liquid starts to come out, which they call sap. But that's the tree's blood. The tree is actually bleeding. But yeah, I don't want to get too much into it, because there is trees do communicate with each other and everything, regardless of what you might think or whatever. Plants do communicate. But yeah, so every living thing does have a spirit. But all those living things without free will and awareness of consciousness, because they don't know, they don't sin. That's why they are all basically on what is called the new earth, which is what heaven, New Jerusalem and all that. And but that's all in another video to be explained. But so it's kind of like for people, it's you have good and bad in you. Everybody. I don't care who you are, how good you think you are, or how bad you think you are that you don't have good, or vice versa, how good you think you are and you're not bad. It's not done on your scale. It's done on the scale of the divine creator God, that says what is good and what is bad according to his commandments, which are the rules, the laws, the things that you are to live by. But he doesn't make you, because if you don't want him, then that's your choice. It's not. So he's not, he don't send nobody to hell or whatever. It's all by your choices. So if you're choosing to do things that he doesn't like, or that you can't, that he will not allow in his kingdom, well, you made the choice to go where you're going to go, not him. He's just sending you where you told him that you want to be. This is how it works. So quit trying to blame him that if you don't do whatever right, because it's not about if you're doing it right or not. It's about, are you making progress? Are you doing the work that you need to do into you to change you, because you want to be better, you want to do better, you want to be more like him, because you were created in his image and likeness. So this is the as above, so below, meaning heaven to down here, but it's also as above, so below. So what you thinketh is what your heart, kind of like what I was touching on yesterday about what you're feeding in to the portals, which is your eyes and your ears, and the people you hang around, the places you go. All that forms what you think, which affects what you say, and and the habits, and your character, your integrity, your morals, all that. So but anyway, back to the spirits. So I'm just going to point out one spirit. It's comes from the English word alcohol. The English word alcohol, the etymology of this word, meaning where it originates from, is traced back to the Aramaic word alcohol. And alcohol, if you do the research into it, is actually the name of a demonic demon, which is why I kind of used the thing right here behind me. It's not necessarily just that brand, it's alcohol, period. All of it. So there is a difference between the alcohol of like beer and liquor and whatnot, and and wine is made from fruits. So it's a different thing. I'll have to do a video explaining more in depth on alcohol itself. But anybody that is old enough can tell you that liquor stores, where, I don't know, some states call them different things. Some states call them liquor stores, some states call them state stores, some just call them alcohol beverage stores. But back in the day, and I'm kind of telling my age here a little bit, but anybody that's old enough, you can ask them. Go ask your grandma, your grandpa, you got a great uncle, great aunt, whatever. Go ask them, and they will tell you that back in the day, back then, alcohol stores used to be called spirit stores, because alcohol, of what I just said, the English word alcohol, the etymology of the word comes from the Aramaic word alcohol, which is actually the name of a demonic demon. And that allows them to, this is why it talks about you need to stay in a sober mind. And I'm sure there's ones named for the drugs and a lot of the other stuff, but I'm just using this one for an example. So if you want to do research and find out the name of some of the other ones, then go ahead and share it. Put it out there, put the truth out there. I'm just using this one because it is a widespread one and has also been legal for far too long. But it allows you to be lucid enough to where you can't control yourself, which is why when you drink so much and then all of a sudden you black out, I mean, that should be a big indicator clue for you right there. Blackout. So darkness, demonic, that's where all the demonic stuff comes from, is from the darkness. But blackout is probably the name of another demonic demon. But spirits are real things. So, and they use things to influence you so that they can manipulate you, in a sense, to control you, to keep you stuck in cycles and loops and traps and snares. And and this is why you need to be of a sober mind, so you have control over yourself, because a huge part of this life is being able to not only know yourself but to master yourself, meaning that you have control over every part of you. The way you think, the way you speak, the way you act, the places you choose to go, the people you choose to be around, all this stuff. Like I've been sharing the last day or two, these are huge factors in this life here. Because if you can't control you, something or someone else is. That's just a fact. So just let that sink in. Think about that for a minute. But yeah, so now I'm not saying to not drink, but if you do, you really need to drink in moderation. And trust me, I had to learn all this the hard way, because I used to do things to where I was the kind of partier that when I showed up at the party, it was a party, but then by the time the party ended, I was the party. Meaning I didn't stop until there wasn't nothing left to do, or I fell out. One of the two was coming first, or we couldn't get no more. That's just, I'm the fool that tests the depths of the water with both feet. That's the way I've been pretty much my whole life with anything I've ever done. I'm just all in or nothing. It's just, because I've always lived by, if you're going to do it, do it. Or why even do it at all if you're not? Why just dabble with something? Now I'm not telling you to go do crazy stuff, so don't take that the wrong way and misunderstand it. Well, he said this. So now your choices are your choices, so don't put that off on me. You can't blame other people for your own decisions. It doesn't matter what it is. So don't try to play the blame game, not only with me but with anybody, because you chose to do what you chose to do. It doesn't matter what it was. That just made me think of like how like the person that ordered the hot coffee from McDonald's and then spilled it on themselves. You knew it was hot because that's what you ordered. But but I'm not getting into the whole court case. Or just like the person that won the case, about the family that won the case with the music caused their son to commit suicide and led him to, I'm not saying it didn't have an influence, but the music didn't outright tell him to go, tempt the Lord to take his life, and because it doesn't work like that. Because it just don't work like that. I know from personal experience, and I'm still here. But trust me, I've faced death and have died and should be dead, and clinically shouldn't even be brain functioning because I was dead for so long at one time. But I am still here because he has a huge purpose for me, and this is part of it with everything that I'm sharing with you guys. But anyway, yeah, so Auku is actually the name of a demonic demon. So I just urge everybody to look into, research, look up everything that I'm telling you. Because you're not to take anybody's word for anything, even though a lot of people do, just because they hold a prestige seat or they wear a white coat like a doctor or whatever, so he's got to know everything about the body. And but this is all another video where I'll get into explaining the health system and why it is the way it is, and why the doctors do what they do, and why the medicine is what it is. And but you know, so even a judge with the law, this is another video with the way the world does their law, and you're tricked into man, it's just yeah, we all been lied to. I was taught all the same stuff, grew up the same, you know, well, not the same as everybody, but I grew up poor, went to public school, and was taught all the same, you know, malarkey, baloney, bologna is how it's actually spelled, but we'll say baloney. Anyway, yeah, so, but yeah, just stop taking everything that they push in your face and whisper in your ear to be correct just because they use scientists, doctors, even the pastor in the pulpit at churches. I mean, that should be a big indicator, because they tell you to go get second opinions if you're a doctor. You know, why religions teach a little bit different in different things, and that should be an indicator right there that for everybody that what they're telling you is not all, it's not correct. But yeah, so, and I'm not telling you not to drink or to drink. I'm just bringing the message. I'm just a messenger presenting a message. And these are all things that I have learned through studying, researching myself, and using every tool available to research, and not stopping until I find whatever is true, even if it sounds outlandish, like you know, there's aliens and UFOs and you know, people that turn into lizards. And trust me, I've came across all the crazy stuff. Whatever you come across, I came across it too. But I just kept searching and talking with the Father and letting Him reveal to me, because you'll know when you find it. You'll just know. There's just I don't know how to really explain it. Just a feeling, kind of like a mother with their child, and they just know when something's wrong, even though they're not in even the same vicinity, or it's just something that you just comes over you, and you just know that's it. That's the answer right there. That's the truth. But a lot of answers you can find by just follow the money. Wherever the money leads, that'll lead you to the truth in a lot of stuff, in a lot of all these things. Because that's really what it's mostly about. It's about the money. But yeah, so anyway, if you do drink, I'm just saying be responsible. Do it in moderation. You know, and if it turns you into something that everybody doesn't care to be around, then you probably shouldn't drink at all. You know, but then if you're like me, I wouldn't advise you to drink either. You know, that's part of why I don't do all this stuff no more. Because I've, you know, came to a realization of what it is, how I am. Not that I'm a bad person. I just, like I said, I become the party. I mean, I was the person that I wanted to make sure everybody was having a good time. Even the person over off in the corner holding the wall up or holding the bench down so it didn't float away. I mean, I was the, you know, yeah. I just became more alive than what I already am, if you know, if you can imagine if that's possible. But yeah, I just made sure everybody was having a good time. But it's, you know, that's getting a little off topic, but I'm just sharing a little bit about myself. And I'm trying to get more and more of that in the videos, because I'm not really sharing a whole lot about me. But when I do share my story, most people probably say I'm full of crap. There's no way that one person can go through that much stuff, still be alive. But this is what it took for me to realize, well, when I had a literal encounter and met a higher power, God, the Lord, well, whatever, you know, went, not in this body, but in my true form, in the spirit form, which is like what the stars are when you look at the night sky. Those are actual living beings. But anyway, and that's what you look like when you're in your true form. That's what he looks like. So you don't have this body with arms and legs. You're just a glowing ball of light that is energy of a spirit. And this is what I mean by you can't hide nothing that you've done. Nothing. You can't, because there's not a mask that you can put on. There's not a body you can put on to hide behind. But yeah, so. But anyway, hopefully this opened some eyes and ears, and I just hope you guys are really getting these messages and receiving what I'm telling you. But yeah, so, and etymology is a good thing to use, a good tool, because English is not the first language. Hebrew, everything comes from Hebrew. Everything stems from you know, Hebrew is the first language, because it's God's language. He spoke everything into existence. He didn't build things like we do. He didn't grab materials and do whatever. He just spoke it, and then it just is. But yeah, and then people started these other languages. So etymology is a good source to use to learn true roots of where words originated from. So then it'll also tell you the true meaning of the words. So, you know, because you got to find, everything goes back to a source, comes from a source somewhere. It has a starting point somewhere. But anyway, so, but yeah, hopefully this enlightened you. But it's another beautiful day. You know, just the weather's nice here. You know, slight little breeze. Birds are flying around. You know, people are smiling. You know, so, and if they're not, be an infectious person to where people just want to be positive because they just came around you. You don't even have to interact with them. Be that kind of person. Don't be the bah humbug that just drags everybody down to the gutter because, you know, you're not in the right frame of mind. So change your perception. You know, you woke up again. You got another day. You're breathing. You can see. You can hear, you can smell, you can taste, you can move your arms and legs, you can go about your day and do things, and you know, I mean, there's so much that you are already blessed with and showed favor, grace, and mercy that everybody just takes for granted. If you have something to eat, you have water to drink, if you have clothes to wear, if you have, you know, a place, a roof over your head, you have any kind of money in your pocket at all. I mean, just anything, everything. It just changed the way you look at things. So anyway, I hope this helps. But yeah, so yeah, nothing to point out against the thing here behind me. I was just using it as the example, but it doesn't matter what the brand is. They're all pouring, you know, promoting the same product, just different flavors. But yeah, but that's the truth about the word alcohol. It comes from the Aramaic word alcohol, and it's actually the name of a demonic demon that wants you to drink its spirit so that it can, dilute your mind so that you lose control, and then when you black out and you're still functioning, that means it has 100% total control over your body. And this works with any drug too. But what the names of those are, I don't really know, because I didn't research into it, because this was all I needed to find when I was revealed this, to make the connection to all of it. But yeah, hope everybody's having a wonderful, beautiful, gorgeous day, and everything is going your way and working out in your favor. But yeah, so peace, love, and light. Shalom.